Hello, welcome, Lars. We are here on Thursday, the 9th of January at 2 p.m. GMT, and we are here for another exciting Twitter space in the Virtuals and AI Agents community. Welcome, Chopin. You've requested it. Perfect. I've clicked you to approve. We're just going to wait a couple of minutes for people to saunter on in. Welcome, OX Lars. Welcome, Crypto Bitfolio. Welcome, Segi. Welcome, 6IX Alpha, P, Odessa. Welcome, one and all, on a red all day with the charts, but no matter. I think we were all due a bit of a pullback after the absolute euphoria and lunacy around the Christmas and festive period. I can see like Game has gone down to around 200k market cap. Yeah, request to speak. Mardo, welcome. You are able to speak now. I'm just going to wait for everybody to saunter on in. OXCB, welcome. Do you want to request to speak, mate? Thank you very much for, I know it's late where you are, so thanks very much for getting on the Twitter space this week. I'm excited to listening to the three projects that we're going to have on today and figure out like what's happening, what they're building and what they're looking forward to in 2025. So OXCB, when you get a chance, just could you request to speak? And we'll just wait a couple, maybe another 30 seconds, a minute. Perfect. And then we can get into it. Okay, maybe let's get going. Maybe we'll start with OXCB. So could you tell us how you first got into Web3 and what drew you to virtuals? Like what was like the aha moment for you?
Hey, hello.
Welcome.
Yeah, talking about the history of my Web3 involvement, I've been 10 years in the field. I began with mining Dogecoin actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, me and my friends, we were mining Dogecoin and we swapped those Dogecoins to Bitcoins, and yeah, we keep mining those. Not long after we switched to Ethereum. So yeah, we have been quite long in the Web3 spaces.
What drew you to virtuals?
What drew me to virtuals? So actually, a few months ago, I was thinking AI is becoming quite advanced right now, and people are making their own stuff like swarms. If you know swarms, before the Swarm token came to be, they were a project by OpenAI contributors, so they were making agent systems that would work with each other, communicating with each other. So looking at that, I was thinking, making something that would be agentic system would be something really interesting. I have a little bit of a tech background with me, so I was discussing with some of my colleagues, so we came to be virtual is something interesting, and this will be the next thing. That's what we were thinking at the time.
Fantastic stuff. And what about yourself, Mardo? How did you get involved in Web3 and what drew you to virtuals? What was like the aha moment?
Yeah, so in terms of Web3, so I have a finance background, about 10 years career in finance, focused on tech. So within tech, I was focused on cybersecurity, AI, and general SaaS. So I was always keeping up to date with the industries, and when I came across Ethereum, that sort of blew my mind, and I just got in the rabbit hole and never looked back. A couple of years ago, I launched Chainscope, which is a data infra platform. And as we were developing our own AI agents, I saw what's happening with virtuals. I love their vision, how they're giving life to AI agents, where the AI agents alive, interacting with their communities across multiple social channels, across games. And that was inspiring. And as we were thinking about our AI strategy, we thought that virtuals is a great fit. And that's how we ended up launching DEGENC Capital. So we are degens at heart as well. And we were using our data for analysis, and it was a perfect fit in that sense.
Fantastic stuff. And Chopin, what about yourself? How did you get involved in Web3 and what's drawn you to virtuals? And did you have an aha moment, or was it more a progressive thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so Chopin, so actually I came from a more traditional background before getting into Web3. So I used to work in actually the aerospace industry. I was building hypersonic aircraft for commercial travel and then spacecraft systems for lunar habitats and satellite communication systems. But I got into kind of Web3 as like most people do. I started as a trader, but being an engineer by heart, kind of dove into all the white papers and the tech and kind of just fell in love with the industry overall and the mission. That was back in like 2018. And then as like time progressed and I got more and more into, learning how to build these systems, I connected with my now, co-founders who all come from more traditional backgrounds. So they all, worked at like Axelar, Kraken, and MetaMask at Consensus, building DeFi infrastructure. And so we came together to start what is Symphony about 2 years ago. Um, and our whole goal was to basically simplify, crypto for, onboarding new users by doing that, by abstracting away basically all the technical headache that exists in the current system today. So on Symphony, you don't need any more like bridges. You don't need to deal with wallets. You don't need to deal with gas. And I thought as we were building the system and it's based on intents and solver systems, we were actually thinking about AI agents like 9 months ago. But we just didn't think the meta would like pop up as fast as it did until virtuals came along. And so we already had these rail systems for AI agents and these communication layers ready to go. And so when virtuals popped up, we were really excited. And honestly, it fits in with our overall mission and goals of like what we built with Symphony and what we see with AI agents being able to become. And that's just overall like simplifying the lives of current users on chain and then also onboarding way more users on chain who can just interact with agents instead of having to deal with the technical headaches of, using, you know, decentralized applications and all the friction that's in the system at the moment.
For sure.
So
It
yeah.
can definitely be a learning curve for people to get involved. I know I'm like getting one of my friends involved in it now and he's like, oh, what's a layer one? What's a layer two? There's so much jargon. Like, even GM, our own little clicky language that we have is quite like exclusionary sometimes, especially from an outsider looking in. So you have Symphony and then you're going to be launching SYMP AI. How do these two work together or what's the relationship between these two?
Yeah, absolutely. So Symphony is the network that Simpson AI is built on top of, or is integrated into. And so Simpson utilizes Symphony to be able to access liquidity across every different chain and protocol, and do so with the fastest cross-chain execution speeds in crypto at the moment. So right now, Simpson and Symphony itself can execute transactions cross-chain in under 3 seconds, which for context is 45 times faster than like layer 0 or Axelar. And then he'll be able to perform any product that's built or integrated into Symphony. He'll be able to perform those DeFi operations. So we're starting with perpetuals, and we're already working with like top perpetual protocols across,
Sorry, sorry to cut across you. Just for those who wouldn't know, like, could you explain to me what perpetuals are, just in a very like basic explain, like on my 5?
Yeah, it's basically futures trading without expiration. So if you want to trade with more money than you actually have, or i.e. trade on leverage, that's what perpetuals is. So basically you're borrowing a certain amount of money, you're paying like a certain amount of fee for borrowing that money, but the potential to do so, like the potential to make or lose is much higher or amplified. So let's say you have like $1,000, but you want to trade with like $10,000 size, you would take a 10x like leverage amount, or borrow that amount, to make it 10x. And then your gains or losses are amplified by 10x as well. And then with that, you take on the risk of being liquidated. And that's just a ratio of how much leverage you would be taking out, if that helps simplify.
Cool. OXCB, you've had like AIXCB has had some impressive growth. Can you share like something? Can you share a little bit about AIXCB, what it's all about, maybe some key metrics or like success stories that you'd like to highlight so far?
Yeah. We launched just a month ago, short of a month ago. Actually, it was a month ago. At the time we were getting quite the FUD from the community because of the launch mechanism in virtual. So after we bought the initial tokenomics that we already announced, 65% of it, people are flooding because they say we bonded already and we are dumping on followers. While in fact, we did not at all dump on followers. In fact, none of our team bought anything from the launch. So yeah, now here we are. After we launched, we got to 10 million market cap, and then since the FUD happened, our market cap dropped down all the way down to 3.5 million. But here we are now. We are sitting at 50 millions with 180 million market cap at our all-time high. Our vision would like to. We would like to be the first community-driven VC where we would invest in founders and especially in the AI agents and the decentralized science field. We already launched our first investment DAO with $1 million raised within. We actually had 2 rounds. The first round was guaranteed rounds for our stakers, and then the second round is a first come first serve. Our first come first serve round sold out in 4 minutes and 15 seconds, I think.
Wow.
Yep, we are building the next VC for the community. We will share the profit of our investment and stuff with our stakers and our holders and also our partners. So we dream big.
And you mentioned you mentioned just there, and your white paper mentions quite a couple of times DeSci. So what kind of projects are you looking for in that space? Like what excites you, and what makes you want to invest in particular projects?
Yeah, each of the fields, AI, of course, we'll also do the investment aside from the agent stuff. We will also have the middle data layer, the marketing, and infrastructure. As for agents, we are already investing in some of the prominent agents in the fields. For DeSci, we are still reviewing a lot of the proposals. We received almost like 300 proposals up to today, and that's quite tough to review. We are doing our best to due diligence. We are partnering with many prominent projects too.
Well, yeah, 300 proposals is. Yeah, it's a lot, and that's specifically only in DeSci, so I can only imagine what it's like in the AI side as well. Murdo, could you tell me a little bit more about ChainScope and then DeGenC Capital, maybe how these entities complement each other?
Yeah, definitely. So ChainScope is a data analytics platform. Think of it as a no-code platform compared to Dune or Flipside. So you're able to build complex charts and dashboards, all powered by AI by using natural language. So we've spent a lot of time creating data pipelines and integrations. We index our own data and pull in third-party data as well. And it's a perfect synergy with DeGenC Capital, right? And the vision of DeGenC Capital has multiple aspects to it. There's the analytics piece, there's the index funds, there's the gamification, where we want to create a platform where folks can have fun and bet on token prices and KOLs. And finally, within the same platform, you're able to trade and execute, right? The analytics part is very synergistic with ChainScope. Now, that's the core of ChainScope and how we started. And as AI agents started proliferating, we started building our own framework for them as well. So think of how Eliza or Game is in the AI agent space, where it makes it easier for folks to tap into socials, leverage data and insights, and communicate with community. We're building our own framework there as well, and that's what DeGenC Capital is leveraging. So it's very synergistic between the two, and the team has been working together for a long time, and we're just excited with what we're going to do in 2025 with our community.
Cool, and tell us a little bit about the team. I think in this stage of the meta, people are very excited about like I think we've had the initial like flush of like hope and like hopium, I suppose, and people are buying projects left, right, and centre. And now I think people are like focusing a bit more and they want to learn more about the team. Can you tell us a bit about your team, Mardo?
Yeah, so myself, I'm the founder and I have a investing background for about 10 years. So, and been in crypto since 2017, and focusing on tech as well. And the most of the rest of the team are engineers. So we have 6 engineers and we're from AI, backend, front end, QA, and DevOps, all full-time dedicated on Chainscope. And then we recently onboarded CMO and co-head of product, and we're actually looking to expand and add more folks on the data, AI, and smart contract side as well.
Fantastic stuff. Absolutely amazing. Good to hear you've got a good team there. And I know it's difficult scaling, especially when you get from 6 to 10 to like 25 to 30, but like, you know, no doubt you're in a good position to do so. Chopin, can you tell us, like, and also, gentlemen, like, if you want to, like, I'd like this to be more conversational, so if you have any points to jump in, just raise your hand or just open up and have a chat. It's trying to make it a bit more flowy. But Chopin, like, what inspired you to create Simpson, and maybe talk us through, like, the why behind its development?
Yeah, absolutely. So Simpson AI has fundamental reasons that we decided to launch it. And reality, it's because the two fundamental issues that we also saw in crypto when we started the mission with Symphony. And that's basically, there's fragmented liquidity out there, and then you have a poor user experience across, chains. Currently, it takes like, you were mentioning before, like onboarding new people into crypto. And then I remember like several times when I'm trying to like tell people like friends, like get them on chain. It's like, and you finally get them excited to do it. And then you hand them like the phone book manual of like every step you need to do one trade. And that's just ridiculous, right? Like we can't do that. And so what Simpson
And you've
does,
also, got to mention, if you get a 1 digit wrong in any of those addresses, your money's gone and you're never going to get that back again. Like, they're like, what? It's like, yeah, double check.
100%. And like, you're cooked, right? And it's funny, like even today, like even if people who are used to being on chain, it's still like frightening, when you're like transferring money and it's taking longer than expected, then you're like, did I send it to the wrong address? Or you're still panicking and stuff like that.
Am I on the right chain? Have I sent it to base instead of Polygon? Like,
Exactly. Like this is way too much tech for the average person to have to deal with. And so what Simpson AI is it's the first chain agnostic DeFi trading agent that actually performs useful actions based on users' intents or trades. And so what we wanted to do is combine the power of Symphony with the power of AI and to allow people to be able to actually have, the capabilities of not caring what chain they're on or not caring what protocol necessarily they're doing, or have to like make sure it's not a scam protocol, but picked from like a whitelisted, audited like list of protocols. And just be able to get to do the stuff that they want to do. That's really what we want to do. So we want to empower users to be able to utilize, decentralized applications with all the benefits of decentralization, and then also offer that convenience factor that will onboard the next people into it. Because if it's as simple as download this app and, park money and forget it, and let Simpson AI like basically, do your trading for you, and you come back, check in, make sure everything's running fine, and then cash out when you want to. That's a much better experience for people. That's essentially what we are striving to create with Simpson AI.
and do you have like, who would your direct competitors or who indirect competitors be in the space? Like, what would you see, or even outside of like Web3 and DeFi? Are you taking on like, fund managers in that regard? Like, how do you see this?
So I actually kind of think that's our edge a little bit. Is the power of Symphony, right? So there's definitely going to be a lot of trading agents, and some are already popping up and everything like that. What we have and what we have to offer is we have the ability to offer every chain, every protocol, basically every DeFi operation, for these agents to actually be free of the limitations of blockchain and just have the ability to have these AI gurus come into, the crypto space and not have to worry about blockchain. Because right now, I think that's a huge, like filter in the space at the moment. So you have like there's few like super AI people, and there's a lot of good like crypto people, but there's very few people that, cover both bases where they're AI and they're blockchain specialists, right? And as such, like the development process because of that is a lot slower than it should be. But when you can remove at least the blockchain part of it and just let these AI gurus come in and be able to develop algorithms and strategies and, complex actions for these agents, not have to worry about blockchain, is a beautiful world. And so that's kind of what we foresee with Simpson AI allowing these builders to do. I would say like in terms of like direct competitors, yeah. So there's going to be, trading agents and stuff like that, but no one else right now at the moment has the speed, the access to liquidity, and the, universal agnostic capabilities that, I would say Simpson has.
Fascinating stuff. Absolutely fascinating. OXCB, founders often, like, especially at this early stage, this nascent stage in like the AI agent sphere or like ecosystem, they often lack mentorship or marketing support or the right tools to scale their projects. Like, how does AI XCB step in to help bridge these gaps?
Yeah, we have our marketing advisors, we have our community advisors, and we also have tech advisors at our team. So basically, after we do the due diligence to a team, we will take them to make a group with us. We will discuss what they need. We will guide them on the marketing aspect, and we will assist them in partnering with correct teams that I think will work in synergy with the others. Also, as for marketing, we have onboarded KOLs and ambassadors to help boarding them too. From the tech side, we have our advisors that will guide them through the AI agent system, whether the team want to use Elisa or the team want to use a virtual no-code platform. Our advisors cover them all. So, yeah.
Cool stuff. And how many is on the team and how many is in the broader AI XBT ecosystem? Or sorry, AI XCB, apologies, ecosystem?
Are you talking about our core team or the team that?
Yeah, your core team, and then also like your core team.
Yeah, we have 3 advisors and 1 partner plus advisor. Also, we have 1 marketing, and also our dev is handling it by himself.
Cool. Brilliant stuff. Mardo, your roadmap mentions like enhanced analytics and portfolio tracking tools. Could you provide some like details on these features and like what values they bring?
Yeah, so on the ChainScope side, you're able to sort of leverage blockchain data at your fingertips. And it's a no-code platform, so you can create custom metrics. And over time, we're going to sort of bring those features into DGen Capital as well. And for the DGen Capital side, what we're focused initially on is, and we're excited to kind of release more information about this, you won't need to scroll through Twitter as much anymore, where you'll be able to stay on top of narratives, know who you can trust, see the information that you need, and the holders of a token, the trade, and the profile of the traders. So, for example, one issue is, okay, token went down. Is it driven by just a whale that dumps? So it could be a short-term thing, or is everyone else dumping, right? So kind of automating that kind of trader portfolio tracking, enhanced analytics, kind of bringing all that together under one user interface makes it easier for folks to stay on top of narrative, trade, and kind of have an edge in the market. So that's what we mean by that. Obviously, not all of this will be available in version 1, but we will quickly iterate, get community feedback, and continue building.
Fantastic stuff. And I saw you had a great tweet there recently on like the history lessons on virtuals.io. can you tell me, what you learned from that, or was there anything that really stood out that was like an eye opener for you when you did that tweet, and you obviously delved quite deep into it. I'll actually pop that under the Twitter space right now so people can have a look.
Yeah, on that one, I think it's just an inspiring story for all founders out there, right? Everyone will face hardship, especially in the crypto space where it's volatile, right? You can see your token go up in multiples within a couple of days, then have crazy 90% plus drawdowns, right? And this team stuck through it all, right? Their token went all the way up to 600 million plus, went all the way down to, I think, 4 to 5, but they kept building. They were smart with their treasury, so they managed to have a good runway. They were openly communicating with their community. So after that post, a lot of folks commented, reached out, or quote retweeted, and they said like, "Hey, I stuck through from the past those days until now, right? I love the team." It just kind of goes to show how they have fostered a strong community. And they had a venture studio, right? So they tried different products and platforms, and they finally found this, and it took off and found product market fit. So I think it's just a great story for all founders where community is number one, right? I think them having the community from the P2E days and maintain that relationship probably helped them gain this traction much faster than others, right? Number two is financial management is key. If they didn't have the treasury, they wouldn't have been able to withstand the bear, especially with such a huge drawdown in their token price. And number three is just like teamwork, vision, and perseverance, executing relentlessly. And they kept working at it. And sort of those are the key things that I take away from it, and bring it to heart, and with what we do at ChainScope and Gen Capital too.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Now, definitely, I think there's a lot to be learned from the whole virtuals adventure from PathDAO onwards. I even remember when my PathDAO tokens were getting changed over into virtuals, and it was Ethermage in the trenches in the Telegram group going, no, don't worry, it's a 1-for-1 swap. It's definitely there. We've double, triple, 100 times checked it. Yeah. And everyone's like, are you sure? Are you sure? I'm just yeah, don't worry. It's and also I think a key lesson, is management of your funds, because I think they raised the very end of the bear or of the bull market, and it's so easy to get caught up in the hype and be like, yeah, of course that NFT is worth 200 grand. That's only going to go up, as I'm sure we all had a few funny ones over at the end of the bull cycle.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm sure we've had our injuries from those days.
Absolutely. Chopin, I saw yesterday, right, that you announced a partnership with Tazi. Could you tell me a bit more about that? How that got done? Why you're excited about working with Tazi and that community? I know they've been around a while on the virtuals platform, and just curious to understand and learn a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. We're very excited to announce our partnership with Tazi, and we'll actually have more partnerships coming along the way. But Tazi is for that collaboration. What we want to do is so Symphony itself has this communication and collaboration layer for AI agents, and ergo so does Simpson. And so Simpson is actually going to help govern this DeFi marketplace for algorithms and strategies that will be running through Simpson and through Symphony itself. Tazi is going to be a great collaboration for that, and so we'll help expand Tazi's cross-chain capabilities and basically showcase the strength of both agents while also proving out this communication rails through Simpson. And what Tazi's team is doing is some really cool stuff. So they actually are from the Ape Society, which for context was the largest NFT collection on Cardano, and then they also built a very successful lending platform on Cardano that's actually now about to launch on Base. And so when we start adding in these more features of Simpson, such as lending, Tazi and those the Ape Society and all those communities will actually be able to collaborate and help facilitate users trading. Tazi especially will help with the education side of guiding people through lending, and Simpson will be there on the execution side. to help basically form these transactions across. But definitely look out for like the future announcements coming out soon, because there will be a lot more partners that are coming on, because there's been a lot of buzz and excitement for what Simpson's capable of doing, and we're really excited to announce like these partnerships as they progress.
So there's a couple more in the funnel as we speak.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Fantastic.
Things are
Let's
moving
go on.
fast. We're excited.
Yeah. Well, that's the one thing is for sure. Like, you rest on your laurels in this space, and like you're going to be left behind. And for anybody listening, have a look at Tazi. It's a very appealing market cap, if to say so the least. A little bit of alpha there, maybe for those who are listening.
Yeah, their team is cracked too, and they're good people. Definitely recommend like looking into them. They're doing some really cool stuff.
For sure. I will look into them in a bit more detail now after this Twitter space. For sure. OXCB, what gets you what are you excited about for virtuals and AI agents in the next, let's say, I usually would say like 6 to 9 months, but I think we have to shorten the timeline a lot, in the next 1 to 3 months. And what are you seeing? What are the proposals that you're seeing as like a community-backed AI agent VC in the space?
The game protocol. They are releasing game protocol, and I think the game protocol will be a game changer itself. No pun intended, but yeah. As you see, Eliza has its own advantages where builders that are deep into the codes, they can adjust and integrate with everything they need. But then for the non-tech people, the game protocol will help a lot because their interface helps. We tried before. The no-code builders, and integration is a breeze. I really love the Virtuals game protocol too, and I think we will see what will happen in the next 1 to 2 months between Eliza and game protocol.
And we also have another, I don't know if it's open source game protocol or something along those lines that was launched recently. I think it's called H1B or 4. Have you had a look at that, or have you heard what's been cooking there?
H1B04. I haven't. I'll have to see first.
Maybe there's an application there somewhere in the couple of hundred probably that you have floating around your inbox. I don't know. Cool. Degen, Mardo, Telegram bots are again mentioned in your white paper, like, and they're becoming like a go-to tool for like community engagement. Like, could you tell us about the plans for Degen's Telegram bot and like what maybe features will it offer, or?
Yeah, so our vision has been that Degen Capital is omnipresent. He's alongside you wherever you are, whether it's on Twitter, Telegram, your browser, and through Virtual's gaming integration in the future in games, right? It's more focused obviously on data and finance, but I think in the future, a lot of people are going to build strong relationships with the AI agents they interact with. And it'll be great that they can just summon them wherever. And as part of that strategy, right, we initially started with the X integration, and now the Telegram integration, which should be right now it's testing within our Telegram community, and hopefully today or tomorrow it should be ready for prod and broader distribution. So anyone here can start DMing Degen Capital. It'll remember what you guys are always talking about. And right now give you insights based on token data, categories, market cap. You can kind of tailor your questions around those. But over time, it'll incorporate crypto data, incorporate Chainscope's technology regarding building complex charts based on your requests. So over time, it'll become a much more intelligent agent. And like I mentioned, like months from now, or maybe by year end, as Virtuals integrates with these games as well, I will love it that Degen Capital can kind of play these games. You could watch it stream or play alongside you, right? But yeah, that's sort of like a broader vision. But from the micro level, that's what our next focus is on, is like releasing the Telegram bot in a broader fashion, and then the terminal right after.
Exciting stuff. Cannot wait. We have a request to speak. NFT Metatron, do you want to jump up and ask your question? You're approved to speak there, mate. NFT Metatron has disappeared. Okay. No worries, these things happen. So what do you think of show, or I'll open up just to the group actually, like, I think we think obviously a lot from a human perspective and what we need as humans, like obviously Maslow's hierarchy needs, so on and so forth. But like from an agent perspective, like what do you think agents are going to need in the near future? I'm talking specifically, I know Ether Mage and Wiki and the rest of the Virtuals team have spoken a lot on an agentic society and agent-to-agent handshakes. We had Luna, I think it was Spluter, one of the other agents they bought, created a picture for her. We had also Luna buying, getting the graffiti artist to create the first bit of graffiti, and as far as I'm aware, the first bit of agent to human transaction. What are we thinking? What are you guys thinking for agent to agent handshakes, and what are you excited about there, and how are you integrating that perhaps in your products? Gentlemen, anyone want to jump in?
Yeah, I could kick it off. Yeah, that's a very exciting future. I think there's going to be a future of agents where you have two sets. You have generalized agents, so you have people who can basically, high level can do a lot of different things, but nothing very specialized. And then you have your niche agents, right? And those will be, segmented to like specific realms of like crypto or like, outside of crypto as well. You can think of that as like, agents that only help you like trade, or agents that help you like find the best yield, or agents that help you, talk on Twitter, stuff like that. I envision the future to be a subsection of these like two different groups, where you have a lot of generalized agents that take generalized questions from users, and then they talk to these specialized agents to make that stuff happen. So you can almost think of it as like a project manager and all the engineers in between. And that's what we're really excited for with like Symphony and Simpson AI. This is far in the future, like not by any means coming anytime soon for us, but I envision it when like somebody onboards into Symphony, for example, they get assigned a personalized agent, and that agent can then basically follow you through your path of trading and everything you do in DeFi, and then learn everything about you and the specialized, like tailored strategy specific to your trading style. And then be able to communicate with other agents to make these kind of things, these operations happen, and basically be able to collaborate, share resources, and perform way more complex operations than any one agent can do it itself. And I think that's what happens. In the future, what we need to do first is, one, we need the infrastructure and the rail systems ready to allow for the communication and proper like speed, like times to make these things happen, and the integrations of protocols and the venues for those operations to happen at. But also you need the currency of AI, which is data, right? So this is something that's just going to take some time to gather enough data for people to, and these agents to actually perform these useful actions. But it's something that's coming a lot faster than I think anybody ever assumed it would. And I think it's going to be a very exciting, future when that stuff happens.
Absolutely. And taking that point of having very generalized agents in one corner or one pillar, and then having a lot more specific agents as the second pillar. OXCB, like, are you seeing in your, with your funding, and you're obviously looking at the market so much, are you seeing any, interesting, agents that are very, very specific in some of their tasks? Or, are you looking, or do you see gaps in the market where agents could come in and fulfill a very specific task in your fund?
From the proposal we receive, we see a lot of cool stuff. We see people, agents that I don't know if I can disclose this, but we see agents that can already check which callers in Twitter are doing the calls that are actually profiting their followers, and which KOLs are making their followers their exit liquidity. That's already one thing that I saw that I think it's amazing, because you'll be able to see which actually is the good KOL that will help you get rich, or which KOL will dump on you.
That's crazy.
Yeah, wild. And like, how, like with virtuals, we have like, unlike previously in the space where we had like VCs taking up a lot of tokenomics, like, and are getting into the crazy early valuation. Pretty much with virtuals, it's like 100% like, from the go. Like fully diluted, all the tokens right there. How, like, can you tell me about like maybe your tokenomics, or maybe Mardo, or what do you, or OXCB, what do you think is a good tokenomics for the long-term like provision of an agent and the entity, the company around that? Do you have any insights there, gentlemen?
Yeah, I think
Well,
long term. I would just take on the long term side where I look at it as, import export, right? You want to create enough value where there would drive demand for your token, either through in the future providing value back to stakers or providing utility so that if accessing certain workflows or function are require the token. So that's what we're setting up. And bonus points if there's a flywheel aspect there, right? Kind of like how Virtuals does with token being paired as part of the liquidity pool there for the AI agents. That's how we think about it. And so we're very thoughtful as we're trying to figure out how to set up our DGen platform to make sure that there's some flywheel elements and also a lot of utility. But yeah, I'll let ZeroXCB talk more on the other side because I know they're very well versed there too.
OXCB, have you got anything to add, or will I move on?
yeah, we can move on.
Okay, we'll move on. So, like, how would, sorry, I'm just flicking through my questions quickly. Like, does anybody see any, like, major regulatory hurdles that projects have to prepare for? I know we have had Mr. Trump come in, and I think the hatches are open for the foreseeable future. But does anybody see any regulatory like hurdles that their project should be looking out for or prepared for? Okay.
Yeah,
Anyone? No?
yeah.
Oh, sorry, go on, Chopin.
I can add just some like general hurdles that your teams should be looking out for. I think, coming from a product, like already having a previous product and building like basically the Simpson AI as well, coming from the experience of that. There's a lot of like learning experiences as like new founders when they come into the space, should learn. Crypto and for example, and especially, um, when you're starting, it's kind of like you just have to start. It sounds funny, but, I know when we first started what was used to be Cadence Protocol and then turned into Symphony, um, the idea for Symphony didn't really come at the very first. You can basically keep planning until death, and then you'll never actually accomplish anything. But once you actually start to get the ball moving, that's when you actually come up with good ideas, and then the full vision actually like reveals itself. And that's kind of like the real sauce that we kind of had. So we started with that as like a perpetuals DAX on a dead chain. And then we had basically came up with this idea of Symphony while we were building out that perp stacks. And that enabled us to basically get this grander vision, and then it just keeps moving forward. And then also never be afraid to like, ask and like form connections in crypto. That's the one great thing about our industry is that everyone's aligned on the same mission and very easy to talk to and very easy to help out. Like if anybody ever wants any help with like advice or connections, please feel free to DM me as well. I'm always happy to help because a lot of people help me. And so always happy to get back into that space. But 100% and it's just, you just got to build, and especially for like these AI agents, it's a very new industry, right? There's going to be a lot of ups and downs. There's going to be a lot of hiccups, but I think it was I think it was Mardo who alluded to it earlier. It's those founders who can basically sit through all the pain are the ones to bet on. People who had experience and people who have had, the knowledge of like what it feels to be at all time euphoria, whether that's with the charts or the product launch or when stuff goes bad. I don't know. It never happened to us, thankfully, but knock on wood, like if your protocol got hacked or something like that, or the token went down drastically, that could be a very, like, people think it's emotional trading on the other side, but as a founder, I could tell you it's 100% like amplified. And it's definitely not for the faint of heart, but as long as you stick to your core product, focus on your community and do this grassroots campaign, in the long term and with, and believe in your own vision, you make great strides in the industry. And this is definitely an industry that rewards people who, stick through hardships and enjoy enjoy the spoils, but also plan for the long-term sustainability of the future.
Absolutely, absolutely well said. OXDB, what are some of the biggest hurdles that like you see current teams are facing in virtuals and beyond, and like how are they overcoming them?
Most of the projects that come to us, their problem is on the marketing side, actually. Builders are good at buildings, but they are sometimes too good at building that they forgot the marketing part.
Yeah, for sure. It's a
100%.
huge part of Web3. You can have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, it's not going to go anywhere. And I think also a key thing, I won't name a project, but there's a project that I've been like looking at and I bought into quite early. And great product, really, really interesting use case. And I just don't think the founder has the ability to delegate. And that's a very important thing to do. Realize that you can't do everything. And like I may be good at X and somebody else may be good at Y and somebody else may be good at Z, and you just gotta, okay, that's your problem. You come back to me when it's fixed and we'll come back and talk about it. So, I think that is one of the bigger problems well, yeah, very interesting that you bring that up.
Yeah.
Have you got anything to add there, Chopin, or?
Yeah, I was just gonna agree, with him. Yeah, 100%. I think crypto, especially versus like even any other industry, right, is that it's very community focused, right? Where like usually in Web2 it's top down, crypto it's bottom up in the most part. So it's a lot of
Yeah.
grassroots campaign from community. And if you don't have a strong community or you don't have strong marketing, like that's half the battle at least, if not like 70% of the battle. I mean, you look how like well meme coins do, and they basically no product, and that's just all community. And that's still like an industry that people didn't even think it would keep surviving, but yet here it is today. And that's something that like really showcases the power of like what true community and marketing can actually do for your community. So never like undermine that or never forget about that. Like great products are great products, but there's a plethora of really good devs out there. And I think marketing is something that really sets you apart in that regard.
Absolutely. I think we can see, like, meme coins, obviously, the whole community, but they grew out of the fact that, like, we had VCs getting in very early and dumping on retail. And I think if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have had the crazy run we have in meme coins. And then you see other projects, like one that springs to mind with great tech is, Uki, AUKI. And they were just, the listing fees that they were getting from like the large exchanges were just crazy. And they just said, right, we'll just launch on a DEX and, everybody will launch at a low price. All our community gets in at a low price and they're not going to get dumped on. And we're going to use the money that we would have like spent on a big DEX, on distributing it to the community and giving them the tokens to people that have been there from the beginning. And then that really empowers them again, and you're setting yourself up for you're setting yourself up for the future rather than you go on a bigger, exchange. Price goes up, dumps on the community gets pissed off, and then you're gone. So and I think this is where virtuals really got really interesting when they had right, it's fair launch, 100%, let's go, so that's what was really fascinating for me. I'm going to ask the audience, does anybody want to jump up? Does anyone have any questions that they'd like to ask? We've got 3 great founders on today. Just, ask the question. Put your hands up. Okay. Don't be shy. Chopin, I know, do you have a sale coming up? Do you want to tell us about that? Please.
The token launch?
Yeah, your token launch, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so Simpson AI is slated to actually launch tomorrow on virtuals. We're really excited. We've been working closely with the virtuals team on getting everything ready. The virtuals team, yeah, they're absolutely cracked. I love moment I got on a call with their people and their founders, I knew immediately, like, these are one of the great teams in crypto. Like, very friendly people, very helpful. Their goals are 100% aligned with ours. Really excited to be working and launching on their platform. But yeah, so that's coming up. I could tell you kind of like the roadmap, or brief roadmap
Yeah,
for Simpson.
yeah.
So yeah, we'll have the agent launch, and then there'll be kind of a period of development, obviously. What we're trying to do is just kind of get the ball moving. What we really want to do is open source and make this a community driven development as well. So we'll take the reins for like the beginning. But eventually that will be open source to the community to add into like this, or tap into this talent pool that's across crypto. Because I think once you actually bring in a lot of like these, and once you make it built on this like open source format, it makes it much more scalable, a better framework, and it helps ensure like future innovations are community driven development and aligned with the community itself. Kind of like what we were just alluding to with like, uh, the ethos of crypto. And I think the ethos of crypto is really like community driven because everyone's a little bit rebellious against like the big man. And I think that's why a lot of, protocols who sold their soul to like centralized exchanges and like VCs and stuff like that, yeah, they died out, or they got their high valuation and then no one really cared because they didn't focus on their core users. And I think once you make this like a community driven development, it focuses on the users, and that's what we're really excited about. So yeah, so that will happen. And then his trading will start with like smaller, simpler strategies, just kind of proof of concept. Obviously, I don't think anybody's going to be getting their life savings into an AI agent just yet. But so like to kind of form that like confidence in the community and the confidence in the market, we'll start with like smaller things. We already have set up, integrations with some core partners that we already work with Symphony, and they're really excited to like bring these agents onto their platform, have them trading on it. But yeah, and then we'll expand that to like opening a DeFi algorithmic marketplace where developers or traders can submit new algorithmic strategies that Simpson can use and actually get paid for it via revenue share of people using their strategies. So it's going to create this kind of flywheel economy that helps not only Simpson, Symphony, but also everybody in the community and the developers itself kind of create this beautiful like pact of people that are just like not only contributing to the future of AI agents, but also being rewarded sustainably through them as well.
Fantastic stuff. Very, very interesting. And do we have a range of a time where that launch will be happening tomorrow, or is it all under hush hush?
That's I got to do that under hush hush because there's too many bots out there listening, ready to snipe. So we'll announce it when it's launched.
Fantastic stuff. And Mardo, do you have any bits of alpha or anything you'd like to share to the lovely people on this space, or anything you're excited about with DEGENC Cap?
Yeah, we've been public about the near-term deliverables, right? We got the Telegram launching soon, and then the terminal. We're hoping to start putting out some teasers this week or over the weekend, but definitely next week, and then have it live next week as well. And then we have some interesting token utility that we are thinking through here that we haven't talked about publicly yet. We're still trying to kind of poke holes in it and figure it out, but it could set up some interesting flywheels to the platform as well. So that's to come. We'll probably start sharing some more thoughts on that next week and get community feedback on it.
Fantastic stuff. And where can people find you? Do you want to plug your socials? Obviously, they can follow yourself and anybody else. So where can I find everybody?
For me, it's my personal, and then for DEGENC Capital, there's the sort of platform account, which is DEGENC Capital CIO. Then there's the AI agent, DEGENC_AI. And then the best place is Telegram, though. That's where the community is very active, and we have a lot of discussions there.
Fantastic stuff. And OXCB, could you tell me some alpha or something that you're excited about going forward? Some little tips or little treats?
Yeah, just like my usual tweet, it's buy, hold, and read, because we are heading towards a tough time. And as you can see, the current chart, it's not looking good. The monthly chart on BTC is also bad. So yeah, everyone brace yourself.
And where can we find you and follow you? And where?
Join in our Telegram group. We will always be there. I will be regularly there.
Fantastic, and you can follow him on Twitter as well. Chopin, do you want to plug your pluggables? Where can we find you? Who should we follow? Where's the alpha going to be coming?
Yeah, I'll show a little bit. So yeah, all the links are in my bio on the Chopin account, but also like the AI agent is SYMP, SYMP _ AI. And then yes, our main core product, which is Symphony IO. So Symphony, just IO. Follow, so there will be a lot coming from me. There will come from the Symphony account itself, and then also obviously the agent. We'll be opening a community Telegram after launch tomorrow. Once obviously the agent graduates and everything like that. But so look out for that as well. We'll make an announcement, and then we'll be putting out like all of the white paper, the future roadmap, and the tokenomics coming in like today, tomorrow, and the next week as well. And some obviously those future partnerships that we alluded to as well earlier. So a lot of news coming out. Definitely stay in the loop. And also, if anybody's like wants to help contribute to the agent itself, feel free to DM me or anybody from the Symphony team. Always happy to have a conversation, or if anybody's open to looking into future ways or synergies that we could collaborate as well with the agent as well. Happy to look into that as well. So feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Fantastic stuff. And okay, finishing up, like I forgot to do it the last couple of weeks with Christmas and everything. I usually ask for a couple of predictions, right, for the virtuals ecosystem. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? There's two predictions I asked for. What do you think the market cap of virtuals will be on the 1st of March? And how many agents do you think will have over 500 million market cap on the 1st of March? Chopin, do you want to start us off?
Yeah. So I mean, Virtuals has been absolutely killing it. I don't know what the market looks like with, the upcoming like inauguration and everything like that and the politics of the world. But I would say I think Virtuals really found a good product market fit. I think they're going to absolutely still kill it. And 1st of March, it's hard to say. Probably at least where it's up from, at least where it's at right now, if not like at least like 20% higher or something like that. But can't give like too detailed recommendation.
You can give a range. We'll say so between now and 20% higher. Okay. And
Yeah.
how many agents do you reckon will have an over 500 million market cap? Obviously, this is not financial advice. It's just a bit of fun, everybody.
Agents over 500 mil. I would
in
say
the virtuals ecosystem. In the virtuals ecosystem.
Yeah, I would say you probably got a good like 30 or something like that. Hopefully by that time, I think that's when with their new game format and everything, and actually that people. I know personally a lot of people in the shadows that are coming out, so there's a lot of exciting tech coming. So it should be really exciting coming out.
Fantastic stuff. And Marta, what about you? What do you think the market cap of virtuals will be on the March 1st? And like, how many agents do you think will have over $500 million market cap?
Yeah, it's one thing. It's a bogey is like the macro environment, right? But if let's say Bitcoin, Ethereum aren't doing horrible, my near-term targets were 7 to 10 for virtuals. And then if they achieve that, right, that sort of lifts their entire ecosystem as well. At that point, I mean, I would think at least 5 to 10 AI agents that are natively grown through virtuals to get, if not 500, very close to it, and the few 100 million, I would say. So that'll be awesome if all this happens.
Fingers crossed. And OXCB, what about yourself? What do you think the market cap of virtuals will be on March 1st? And how many agents do you think will have around about 500 million market cap?
Personally, I think virtuals will still double.
Wow.
Okay.
For sure. And what about how many agents do you think will be over around 500 million?
How many agents? Now we only have 567. I think we will see like in 600-700 in totals.
Oh, well, I'm talking like with over 500 million market cap. So we have like, I don't know, like, I think AICBT is like 320 now. Game about 320. Okay, anyway, thanks very much, everybody. My name's Zach. I run a marketing agency called Altcoin Edge. You can follow us here. I'm also probably on Twitter. You can follow me on Virtual Morales. I write a couple of articles, probably once a week on projects I find interesting in the virtuals ecosystem. I'd like to thank everybody who listened. I'd like to thank our three guests, OX, CB, Mardo, and Chopin, and everybody who came along. We do this every Thursday. Sometimes it's a little bit earlier, sometimes it's a little bit later, but it's every Thursday. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Tell your friends, tell your family, and I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday wherever you are in the world. And yeah, that's bye for me. Always open for a DM, and thank you very, very much. Bye for now.
All right, appreciate
thanks
it.
for having us.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Thank
Stay
you. Thank
cool.
you.